Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. We're making our holiday dish series, and so we're going to do sweet potato casserole. The way I do it, you can do it however you like, but we're going to do it the way I do it, is to peel the potatoes. I just like to use a cold bowl of water. This is my method. You can totally do it over the trash can or whatever, over a garbage bag. This is just, I've done it 1,000 different ways, and this is just the way I like. And that's how it is sometimes in your kitchen, is you just do things the way that is comfortable for you to get the job done, right? Like serving Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday meal is a big job. So do it how you like to do it, right? Don't put so much pressure on yourself to do it how everybody else does it. Do it how you want to do it. I wanted to show you if you have like a little spot. I love these. These are really cheap and I have them on my list. They have this little circle on them and you can just put it in and spin it around and take the little chunk out. So you don't keep like taking a whole bunch of potato that you don't need to take. Peeled and happy and looking good. Now we're just going to chunk them up in a way that they're going to roast up nicely. Okay. So sweet potatoes are pretty hard. Like, they're pretty solid, so don't get discouraged if you're like, whew. And also, let me show you something else that happens. They oxidize pretty quick, so they get these brown spots. And I know you're going to see a brown spot where you've peeled or you've cut out something and you're going to panic and be like, oh my God, it's bad. It's not bad, it's fine. It's just when you peel them and you expose it to the air, they get little brown spots on them. And the longer they sit out, the more brown spots you'll see. It's okay. Also, they could seep a little bit of white fluid. And I know sometimes people might get upset if they see that white fluid. That's honestly also okay. I think it's just the sugars coming out. That's totally fine also. So I'm just telling you this because if you're new and you've never cooked sweet potatoes before, I think these are yams, and you see something like that, you might be concerned. I split them in half, and then I'm just splitting them in half again and then making them into like 1-inch-ish chunks. This doesn't really matter so much. It's just that we're going to roast them up. They roast quicker if they're smaller. If you make them too small, it'll just become mush and there won't be any body to the potato. So we don't want that. Okay, so that's the reason that we're not cutting them too small, because we don't want mush. We don't want like mashed sweet potatoes. We want beautiful roasted sweet potatoes to put into our casserole. We want them to kind of hold their shape. So it's cubed up. It's laid out on my giant cookie sheet with my parchment paper. Now we're going to do a little bit of olive oil. It's just a basic roasting recipe you've seen me do lots of times before. So a little olive oil, just enough to coat. Then we're going to do salt. And then we're going to do black pepper. Now, could you do garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika? Sure, absolutely. You absolutely could. Do I traditionally do that if I'm making it for the holidays? No. We're going to give everybody a toss. You don't have to use your hands, but they are the best tools to get everything coated beautifully in the salt and the pepper and the olive oil. You're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees and we're going to roast them. How long does it take? Depends on how big your pieces are. Depends on how hot your oven is. Depends on how many sweet potatoes you have. So unfortunately, we're going to have to watch them a little bit, but I always start when I'm roasting vegetables at about 20 minutes. And then I'll poke it with a fork, spin it around, maybe do another 10 minutes. I'll just keep checking on it. What we want them to be is nice and fork tender. You can certainly taste them to see if they're cooked through. Okay, here they are, hot out of the oven. They're nice and soft and tender. They're smushy, but they're still holding their shape. I'm gonna let them cool off a little bit. Put it into the serving dish. And we're gonna cover it with some saran wrap, or if your serving dish has a lid, and we're gonna pop it in the fridge. This is where we will stop. We'll put it into a nice dish and then we'll stop if we're going to be making it ahead. Because I'm going to be covering the top with marshmallows and then baking it, and it's gonna get this beautiful like crust on top. And if you do that prior and then you warm them up with the marshmallows on top, you will have melty, burnt marshmallow mush, and it's not the vibe. So we're not gonna put the marshmallows on top, and I'm taking them out of the fridge. It's the next day. I'm gonna let this come to room temperature. So I would give it at least an hour longer if you have time, because the dish gets super, super cold. So you want the dish to warm up. You can even pop it in the oven for like 5 minutes just while the oven is coming to temperature, just to get that chill off, because you don't want them to be cold or they're gonna take too long to warm up and then it's gonna burn the marshmallows. You can put a little bit of brown sugar and a couple of knobs of butter if you want them to be a little bit sweeter, more candied. I think that the marshmallows do enough. So for me, I'm just gonna do the marshmallows. We've already seasoned them with salt, pepper, and olive oil. We've already roasted them. They're already sweet. They've already got good sweetness to them. These are the larger marshmallows, and this is a 12-ounce bag. Pack them on, mound them up, make them gorgeous, okay? Then we're gonna put this in the oven, and our sweet potatoes are already cooked, and I've already warmed up the dish, so they're basically warm. We just want this to get all brown, crispy, like s'more, like campfire, okay? Did it explode all over my oven? Yes. I mean, not really. A marshmallow fell off. Is it too much for the dish? Maybe, but it's also deliciously caramely amazingness, and I can't taste it for you because I'm sending it with my kid to her work. But I promise you, it's so delicious. There's like warm, bubbly, savory, delicious yams under there. When you break into it, you get like these caramely campfire marshmallows mixed with it, and it's like chef's kiss. I wish I could dig in, but I can't. Sorry, guys.